All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. The exhibition season is over. It's time to play for real as the 2018 NFL season is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on now, oh, come on now, let's go.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Ajayi. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Got him in. Complete. This is Richard Rodgers. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here we go. Waiting.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the rookie from Notre Dame, it's Josh Adams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Let's go. Great.
Hey, 4 down.
Ram. What's this, son?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, rip 5-2, on here.
On play action, Wentz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. After the interception, here's Ryan. Over the middle, complete. That's Ortiz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Gun!
Here's Ryan to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Hey, let's go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, Ryan. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. 12 yards there as they move the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They run, Devontae Freeman. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now Ryan on the move to his left. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline. But do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
87.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
81. 81, 81. Wrap.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Falcons offense, Charles, heading back out there, coming off a 10-6 season, made the playoffs again. But coming off the previous season when they blew that Super Bowl to the Patriots, I think a lot of folks were expecting more in 2017. So now turn the page. What can we expect this year?
They want to return to explosiveness on offense. I mean, that's what they've got to get to.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
11.
Now Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
Get up!
And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They go play action here on first down. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Brandon Graham able to get him for a loss of about 3. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Ryan now off the bootleg. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's third down. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Eagles offense heading out. You know, last year at this time, Charles, we said this was a franchise that's kind of been in neutral for a while. They're not neutral anymore. Defending Super Bowl champs. What do you think, favorites again?
I think so because this team has few holes, if any. Look, your quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt before the season's over. His backup, Nick Foles, wins Super Bowl MVP. Wentz probably would have won the regular season if he finished out the year. Offensive line, one of the best in the game. Passing game keeps getting better. Multiple runners who can run it and catch it. Flip it over to defense. Tremendous defensive front. They can just swarm and get after you. Great coordinator, very creative. The big thing for them, they'll have to take everyone's best shot week in and week out during the season.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not. Some
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Brooks Reed. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
3 down, 3 down.
Yeah, shit. Hey, stat. I couldn't do great.
Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, oh.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo!
Check it out.
They'll run on first down. Adams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Grade 15. Grade 15.
45's the mic.
On second down, here's Wentz. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Brooks Reed in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Two jet.
We got 3.
On play action, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
82. Sunday.
Army. Watch twist.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Hang in there now.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Josh Adams with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Watch tight. Tight is right. 4 down.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Crash down. Crash. Go. It's run.
Hey, let's go.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, that's caught at the 25. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 3rd down, Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll begin here with Adams. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Sunday.
Wins to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Wentz. He's got a man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Golden Tate, 69 yards. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Ryan. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Ryan keeps it on the sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 2nd down, Ryan getting it out left side to Sanu. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On first down, Ryan. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He lost 6 there on the first down play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. From midfield now, here's Ryan. He's airing it out for Sanu. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody...
Jay's going to go. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. And they do finally get him at the 12. A big play there from Ajayi. 77 yards. The defending champion Eagles looking good thus far in their first game since Super Bowl 52. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, Adams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On play action, Wentz. Flushed out right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down. 25, check 25.
Lose 5-7, lose 5-7. Shorty.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Tight end right.
From the shotgun, Ryan gets it off to Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 65 yards. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They start on the ground with Adams. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, second down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
What's this on?
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run with Ajayi. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Check, 55 to Mike.
Great, great.
Mike. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Black, black. Hey, great 15. Great 15.
From the gun, it's Wentz. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Wentz now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Lion, lion, lion.
Foot down. Check.
What's this on? What's this?
Again, here's Adams. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Here's Tate to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And you know in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll run it here. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I was used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher, and all night long he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now, a huge third down conversion.
46 down, man, 5-4.
They'll run on first down. Adams, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing now is Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And give him a gain of 37. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
What's this?
Check three.
Black, come on.
45. Mike, 45. Come on, baby.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about it if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
They run again with Ajayi. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Number 26.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this.
Hang in there,
This
Hang
a
in there
big
now.
play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Hey.
Ram. What's up?
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
On the ball. Great.
Hey, we are...
What's this, son?
4 down. Check, 45's the mic. Check, 45's the mic.
What's up?
I'm coming.
What's this, son?
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So a big kick coming down for Jake Elliott. This for the lead in the final stages. And Elliott puts this one through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He'll look to throw. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Tuesday.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
20.
Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeout.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. One last shot for Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw it.